Hi everyone, this is Heidi from Adventuring Psychics giving you a shout out and a shout out to our psychic advisor Jane Dowler. And I'm really excited to dive back into part 2 of our series of witches. Now this week is going to be talking about witch, wizards, and warlocks and a little bit something extra at the end. What I wanted to jump in is, where did we get the word witch? Can we demystify it a little bit and make it less scary for some folks that are out there that really don't know anything about witches and warlocks and wizards? So, witch comes from the English word witchta. And if you just break it down simply, it just means a person that has a craft or a skill. As in any kind of language that you are speaking conversationally, you're going to have a male and a female version of the same name. So believe it or not, Wicca is the male version of a witch, and Witchta is the female version. And you spell that W-I-C-C-E. So you have male and female. So a witch or Witchta, they get their magic from mentors, from people that teach them how to use nature, and how to use the earth for conjuring their spells or doing their own spell casting. So do you want to cast a spell during the full moon, or for the spell that you would like to cast, would it be better to wait for a quarter moon or a waning moon? Does that make sense to everybody? They are taught how to use all of the elements to produce a result from any kind of spell casting that they want. A lot of times your witches or your wizards were also looked upon as your medicine people, because the fact that they did have the skill of working with the earth elements and your flora and your fauna. If you were ill or if you needed help mending a bone, you wouldn't go to someone that is just an elder. You would go to their shaman. You would go to their medicine man or medicine woman for help. They would help you to mending a broken bone. If you had an infection, they would know the right herbs to give you and how to give it to you, such as a tea or a tincture, or we're just leaving the leaves and the bark on a body part to siphon out the poison to get rid of it from your system so that you can start to heal. But because of, in my own personal opinion, political powers that are out there and religious powers that wanted to control a certain group of people to make them believe what they wanted you to believe, they considered you doing what you do as a wick or a witchin or a witchta to be bad. Depending upon how influential they were, these people, they would turn others against you and put a feeding frenzy of fear so that people would be scared of you and they would turn against you. Hence, all of these witch trials that went rampant among the centuries. Wizards are thought of as older gentlemen that were very wise and very knowledgeable with anything and everything that was out there, and they were always thought as men. Believe it or not, everyone, witches and wizards are interchangeable. You can have female wizards, you can have male witches. Now, wizards don't necessarily have to be those, 100-year-old gentlemen or women or look like crones that just are, you were too afraid of. They are knowledgeable folk. And I, as Heidi personally believes, that they really have harnessed a lot of the elements. They are really elemental agents for me, in my own opinion. So they can take the earth, the wind, the fire, the water, and they can do more magic with them. For wizards, I think truthfully, they are hardwired to the earth and its elements and can bring forth and to really source that magic into producing a lot of elements for the good. So whatever kind of spell that they need, they can bring it up in a heartbeat. They can push that energy to where it needs to go. So for me, I think wizards are very elemental creatures. Now, let's talk about warlocks. Warlocks are both wizards and witches. They're male, they're female. But as we know them, they are always considered a male witch that has gone rogue, that wants to do their magic or use their magic for their own purpose, for their own good. If collateral damage happens in their wake, oh well. Their purpose is to serve themselves. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be either one of those witches or wizards to be a warlock. You were just a person that was deceptive. You broke an oath. And you were no longer part of a community. Same thing if you are a witch and you go rogue. You've broken an oath of your coven, and therefore they no longer need you or want you as part of their group. So what does a warlock do when they do get kicked out? They can go solitary and create their own havoc. They can also band with other former witches and wizards that have gotten kicked out of their own coven, and they can make their own coven of their own. Their goal specifically is to create havoc for everyone and to have a benefit that's going to make them happy. So think of them as bullies. And what bullies want to do is just get what they want for themselves. Doesn't really matter who they insult, hurt, or trample upon. Their goal is for their own pure pleasure, and that's it. Now, let's talk about something else. I wanted to add a little bit of American Native into our witch, wizard, and warlock theme. Because as our Indians have been the first settlers, the originals of the United States, they have been born of the earth. Most of what their information has come from is word of mouth. Very little is written down, and they are taught from the ground up how to use their environment to their own good. What happens when a medicine man or a medicine woman goes rogue and gets kicked out of their tribe? We actually don't call them warlocks. We actually call them skinwalkers. For me, as Heidi, they are a lot more frightening than a warlock because their power is so connected to the ground, to the earth, that they can become shapeshifters. So with skinwalkers, what they do is they take the animal that they want to turn themselves into, and they will literally wear their skin. Now, you will see in tribes that are together as a tribe, some of them will wear the skins of the animals. That's completely different. That is a level of tribal member. The tribe or the member that gets kicked out of the tribe is a medicine man or medicine woman. And what they're going to do is they might shed their old skin of what they used to be for their tribe, so to speak, shed their skin. They're going to take the skin of a wolf, wear a raven's skin, whatever they would like to be, a bear, whatever they want to project themselves to someone to scare the bejeebuses out of them or to lure them, because that's another thing that a skinwalker does. Their sole purpose is to steal your energy, to steal your life force, draw it into them, and therefore makes them stronger. A lot of this information comes from the Navajo Indians. They have a lot of history with skinwalkers. They actually don't talk a lot about it. Before I came out here to talk to all of you about this, I made sure that I blessed myself, I meditated, I put my protections on, and I'm presenting you with the information. People have seen skinwalkers in either an upright form or on four legs. The difference that you notice about a skinwalker is that their eyes never change. They always look human. If you happen to be in that southwestern area by yourself, God forbid, or if you're with a group of people and you just feel like going camping, pay attention to the sounds that are out there. They can mimic the sounds of, babies, children, hurt animals. Your first instinct is to, let's go help. My advice is don't. Don't at all. You don't know what's out there. It is in the dark, another thing, and you don't want to put yourself in harm's way. Not to say that skinwalkers can't come out during the day, because they do, but sometimes just to heighten the experience, they'll come out at night, and they'll scare the bejesus out of you then. So we have to be mindful of the mysteries and the legends that are out there, because they do come from an experience, and there is a form of truth to the legends that you're talking about. You're probably saying, Heidi, why do you believe all that brouhaha? Well, personally, I love the information. I love diving into fact and fiction and myth. It's fascinating. But again, these legends and these stories come from a sort of truth from somewhere. And if you are on Native American soil, you need to be respectful, you need to be careful, and you need to not do anything by yourself. Truthfully, you don't have to. So always be vigilant of where you are in your world, okay? To top it all off and to bring this to a full circle, witches, wizards, warlocks, male and female, interchangeable, skinwalkers. They are your medicine men, your medicine women that have gone rogue, that want to do harm. Any questions that you have about this series, or any inquiries, or anything that you'd like us to add with that, info@aventuringpsychics.com. You can email us there. You can go to our website, aventuringpsychics.com. You can put in the comments. We'll get your comments. We will answer them, and we will put them out there to the public. And for the next, or part 3 of the series that's coming out next, we're going to be talking about the magic that the wizards, the witches, and the warlocks, and even the skinwalkers do. So we're talking about occult, we're talking about black arts, white arts, everything in between, and a little bit of voodoo on the side. So until we meet again, Heidi from Aventuring Psychics, have a fabulous day out there, everyone, and we're going to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.